And I'm so excited because at least this time we can now be more connected to many people about their feng shui.
If you don't want to do something, change it. If you don't want to be somewhere, move. Do whatever you can to be happy, because this is it. You can't come back and do it again.
Kayo pa rin ang mag-decide kung gusto nyo maging masaya, maging malungkot. Tanggalin na yung lungkot, di ba? Tanggalin yung problema, doon ka lang sa happiness. Yun palagi ang pipiliin mo, happiness.
If you just live one way forever and you don't pivot and you don't move, you will never grow. You will just be idle. And if you are idle, then how will you progress, diba?
Pag-aralan mo yung role hindi lang mataya mo script, memorize mo, that's it. Kasi hindi lalabas sa mukha mo kung tama ba yung role na pinaportray mo. Kailangan pag-aralan mo siya, mag-research ka, mag-kausap ka ng kung ano pwede mong kausapin tao para sa role na to.
Diba, of course, love is a choice. So, syempre, since we're both part of the showbiz industry, importante para sa amin na hindi makinig sa ibang tao. It's more of like we choose to listen to each other.
Keep dreaming about the Philippines, because when you wake up and when you do make good of your travel to the Philippines, we assure you of the same promise that it will be more fun and safer Philippines which you will visit.
I think OPM is evolving because we have a global audience. So there's a lot of things that is being now added into the music. The generation of today is adding a new flavor to it.
Marketing is to build awareness. Branding is tell people who you are. Find your target markets, where they are, where they gather, and what's their lifestyle.
Me as an individual, as a unique person, I feel that you are your own icon. You know, you have to have your own personality, shine, whatever.
Because for me, it's about educating ourselves, because we are in two different generations. But at the end, we will embrace and kiss and say, I love you.
You know, you have to take charge of your destiny because it is your life. And ambition ka sa buhay, run after your dreams, chase your dreams, it will happen.
Changing the habits to keep your energy level balanced and take the advantage to take care of yourself, pamper yourself with shea butter. You know, it was something that I was doing a lot.
But with cooking, you know, be imaginative, be creative, explore. It's really more of just have fun with what you cook.
I want you to know that it's a hard job. So, hindi lang yan pang glamour. I think you have to be intelligent to be an actor so you can understand the character that you will do and what the director will tell you.
For me, it was all about care. I care about people. I care enough to want them to do really well. And it was that moment where I realized that I want to coach. I want to help others through coaching.
The greatest sex organ is the one between your ears, diba? Not between your legs. So that is why I decided to get a PhD in psychology and clinical psych.
During my college days, then I started buying cheap makeup, and then I started thinking to pay. Like I could actually earn from it. So like, oh my God, I could really earn from by doing the thing that I love doing.
Pagdating ng araw, ipapakita namin sa buong mundo na kaming mga Filipina, we are good people. That is just a stepping stone for us to achieve what we want because of love for our family.
Why do we limit ourselves if you have the time and you have the skills to pursue something and your heart and your passion is still in it?
I always feel that being a woman is an advantage because you can charm your way, diba, sister?
Yeah.
If you're smart, you can do many things, no? Pretty and smart. Wow, you can do so many things.
As a model, you are expected to look a certain way. You're expected to have measurements that are at par with their standard.
Making the right choices in my career has led me to the leadership role that I am at now. No?
I look at the mirror and smile a lot. Remember, it only takes 17 muscles to smile and 46 muscles to frown.
What's nice about our industry is during recessions or during difficult times, that's where we really hunt and look for opportunities.
I want to make children happy. That is one of the most important purpose that I had. So I said, I had to teach children how to play with it.
There is something special about each one of us. And if we can share that
and have mutual benefits for each other, then that's really good. Create a win-win-win situation for everybody.
Nakaka-inlove.
Nakaka-inlove. But alam mo talaga, totoo yan, Marites. When you are traveling, just the two of you, you feel young. Yung parang it was just yesterday.
There are foods that don't have to be fancy. There are foods that don't have to be complicated to be delicious. And we have to keep that part of our culinary tradition alive.
It's not always about just the work. It's about holistic wellness, right?
That's
It's
right.
about,
That's right.
it's about having a balance of, really enjoying life.
Beauty is no longer a vanity. Actually, it's an affordable luxury.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fun Fortune and Feng Shui here with Marites Allen. How is everybody? Wow, it's November na. It's going to be Christmas very soon. That's why I have my poinsettia and I'm wearing green to start the celebration of Christmas. So I'm missing you all. Thank you so much. Good morning there in New York. Good afternoon here in London, and good evening there in the Philippines. I hope everyone is fine. And today I'm very excited because for the longest time, I think several years ago, from the last time I've seen this beautiful guest of ours, we sort of like lost touch, and then through our good friend, of course, the great Dexter Alasas reconnected us this time. And mga kaibigan, today is indeed a beautiful Fun Fortune and Feng Shui episode because we are going to feature the very first Filipina to win one of the most prestigious titles in the beauty pageant world, Miss Earth 2008, Carla Paula Henry, and now she goes by the last name, married name, Ammann. We will know more about her later. And then, mga kaibigan, Carla is one empowered woman who started her modeling career in Cebu. So yes, Bisaya man me. Okay, with the Ad Models agency, Philippines agency, that eventually catapulted her way to Miss Philippines Earth pageant. And of course, the rest is history. She has been advocating environmental causes while juggling hosting jobs, being a mom of two. In fact, backstage, I just spoke to one of the daughters. Oh my God, she is like so adorable. And Carla is happily married to husband Rico. I also met Rico a while back. So mga kaibigan, join us as we get to know more about this strong-willed and versatile personality that's inspired a lot of Filipinas to dream big and become better versions of themselves. Mga kaibigan, let's all welcome to the Marites Allen Show, Miss Carla Henry Ammann. Hi! Carla, I think you're muted.
Oh, hi! Hello!
Oh my God, look at you. Kumusta ka? You are
I'm
so
good.
beautiful as always.
Thank you. This is, no, 1, 2, 3, get up.
Oh my God, mga kaibigan, if you just, oh my, this is just like 5 minutes away during our live. And then, how did you even transform your makeup like that? You are so amazing. In fact, this is going to be my very first question. So, anyways, how is everybody? How's the family? How is Rico? And how are the two girls?
The two girls are good. They're running around like crazy, enjoying being back living in Cebu. Well, my husband and I have been enjoying it very much. We haven't been living here for 8 years because we were based in Manila. So for us to come home now with two girls and 3 cats and Yaya in tow, a whole village already. Exciting. We left Cebu when we were single. We come back, married and
Plus
family.
two. No, I think Cebu is a better place. I mean, especially if you have a growing family and everything. So say hi to Rico, and and your daughter Stella is just so adorable. Mga backstage, I was just talking to Stella, and she said she already has a whole list of shopping to do in Lazada. So to our friends in Lazada, you have like a very, very young 6-year-old endorser.
Future endorser.
Yes.
Call us, Lazada.
All she wants is Barbie dolls. So, take note of that. So, mga kaibigan, I just would like to welcome Carla, Miss hello, Donje. I don't know where you are watching from. Thank you so much. If you can write down, which country, which city you're watching. Hello, Maggie. Of course, Sandra, Irom, Leah, thank you very much. And of course, our dearest Dexter. Ayan.
Hi, Dex.
Yung ating mga question ngayon na pwede yung ilagay, puro mga pang dyan ha, yung mga beauty queen na question. Yung mga, baka may mga itatanong kayo dyan. Cool na cool to mga kaibigan si Carla, so don't worry. Hi, Joanne. Ayun, taga Cebu si Joanne, of course. Bisaya man niya si Joanne. Okay, so maayong gabi Ayun, maayong gabi We have Jojo Gonzalez and we have Paula as well. So, Carla, when you were starting, you were originally a Cebuana or you are from Manila?
Actually, my dad is Canadian and my mom was originally from Mindanao, but the province I knew of my mom was Bataan. And so I was Tagalog first before I was Bisaya. And then my dad moved here, but we have family here in Cebu as well. So we often visited Cebu when I was little. It was always my Christmas route to stop here in Cebu. But my dad remarried a Cebuana, and we ended up living here when I was about 14, I believe, years old. And I've been living here since, and that's why I've kind of been like the adopted daughter of Cebu, but Cebuana now.
You are a Cebuana. You are the most beautiful Cebuana, diba? No, you really, when you won the pageant, you really have uplifted. So, yung mga beauty queens, kadamihan, diba? Even to this date, a lot of beauties are coming from Cebu. So,
I love it. Yeah.
Diba? So, mga Bisaya, mga gwapa man jud ta.
Ana jud na, ana gyud.
Of
Bisaya
course.
power sa gwapa.
That's right. So you saying you were like growing up there and everything. So you have a sibling by any chance, or you're the only daughter?
For both my parents, I was the only daughter. But for my dad, he actually has 4 daughters. There's 4 of us, all girls.
Wow.
Yeah, he wanted it that way. He didn't want a son.
Are they also following your footsteps? Are they any of them following your footsteps by any chance?
Well, 2 are older. Where our gaps are quite far from each other. Like my little sister, I believe she's about like around 11 years old. So our gaps are quite big. And with my mom, I have an older sister of about 2 years, and I have a younger brother of about he's about 15 years younger than I am. So
yeah, wow, ang galing. So being a mom of 2 now, of course, happily married with Rico. is there any like, of course, can we sort of backtrack? Because I remember, I know you may not, I'm not sure how, please forgive me. You may not, I mean, I do remember it when there was like a challenges in your life. Then I remember because I'm trying to backtrack the last time we saw each other in Manila. So
I
you
think
were
the last time
in Manila, right?
I think the last time we saw each other was on a plane.
Ah, okay.
To Manila. We
Manila.
ended up sitting beside together.
That's right. That's right.
In the whole plane, we were the ones seated beside each other.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, so it's really like parang meant to be, no? Parang the whole flight, we were seated together. But then, when you were working in Manila, then you were doing a lot of stints. You were modeling. You know, you were driving around. You were, really like in control of your life and everything. But there was that because a lot of people they think that modeling, being in showbiz, being in the pageantry world is like everyone glorifies the beauty queens. Parang you are in a certain pedestal, that parang you can do no wrong, or like everything is coming into you. Was there an incident in your life that you felt challenges also comes in, but you just have to get going, and what was that in your life?
Well, I think that having been part of the industry, it really, I mean, it's a lot of physical training. So, which is something not advertised. I recently, only in the last few years, it's been publicly acknowledged by people because there's been documentaries and stuff. But they don't really realize, especially during my time, the amount of physical endurance you really have to do pageantry, even the artista life, the modeling life. Because I can only speak for the beauty pageant industry, but for us, we have a limited time frame to train for a certain period for a certain pageant that we want to join. So it takes a lot from you. Like you have a schedule, and once you have a schedule, you need to abide by, and you have multiple organizations you need to answer to. So you're often, pushed in different directions, and you get very little sleep. So the physical side of it really can start to take a toll on you. But for me, the most difficult part is really the mental side of pageantry. It really messes with your mind. It really, tests your mental capacity to handle certain issues, certain problems, certain anything that gets thrown your way. Because like in physical, sometimes you just need a day to rest and you're re-energized, right? But it's harder to train your mind. It's harder to tell your mind you're going to be okay. And that's why I often tell girls, like, when you join pageantry, you really have to know in your own mind, can you handle it? Are you ready? Are you prepared mentally more than you are physically? And I remember that a lot of it was people's form of bullying. It seemed like I could never get anything right. Like I was too thin. I was too fat. I was, I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't pretty enough, there were so many comments out there and so many people offering their opinions, and unwarranted a lot of times. And they also don't know the boundaries of what's below the belt and what's not. What is an opinion you can carry that can have constructive criticism, and what's an opinion that you're just hurting the feelings of a girl who's already stressed out. And that's why that's a very sensitive issue for me, because I personally went through it in the industry. So I don't want any other girl to ever go through it either. And it's a lot worse now because social media is really like a lot crazier. So I think it's really the mental strain that I had the biggest issue and the biggest problem with. I like to pride myself that I'm a girl that knows how to find solutions. I always look at the glass half full. So I like to look for different angles and different perspectives to try and get a solution to a problem. But a lot of the times what I often struggle with is really the mental side of things. That's something I feel like I can control.
Imagine and only this mental issue just like been openly discussed maybe a year or two, even after just the pandemic. So even before, you were just like, seriously, did you get it? Like, can you get any help? Can you talk to people to, around, like, can we discuss about it? Because like what you said, I mean, is this because the internet was available now then, or the social media, that people would still yun na nga eh, you're saying like even how much you do things, it's still not good enough for them. So is it because of the era of social media as well when you started?
I definitely think so. I mean, I was better off. I was worse than the girls that came before me, and I was better off than the girls that came way after me, because the girls that came before me didn't have Facebook, or they just had
Yes.
people physically making libak.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so you don't have to listen to that. And most of the time, I have to say, these people don't have the audacity or the balls or the guts to tell you it to their face. So you're kind of
Exactly.
sheltered from it for the most part.
That's
And then
right.
during my time, it was mostly on the pageant forums that they were really targeting me. A little bit down later on in my reign, did Facebook really start to kind of come in, and so I would start more to read a lot of the comments. But when I was competing, I had the option to not immerse myself in that negativity. So I wouldn't open any of the forums. I wouldn't check who loved me and who adored me, and I also wouldn't check who hated me and who didn't like what I was doing.
That's
So,
right.
But nowadays, it's harder for the girls now, because even the trolls on the internet, those people, they even target the ladies' personal accounts. So
That's
it's
right.
very
Yeah.
toxic now.
Yeah. Would you, by any chance, in the future, if one of your daughters says, "Mom, I'm gonna do modeling. I'm gonna join the, beauty pageant," would you allow them to?
It's really, I like to think that I am a mom that would support my daughter in any field she decides to go on, in whatever path she chooses. If she wants to go down somewhat the same path as I did, then I would. But I would make sure that I am by her side, and really guide her through it and tell her the realities of it, and not just the glitz and the glamour and the traveling, the VIP treatment, the beauty side of it, but really the nitty gritty that happens, the reality, from experiencing dirty old men to being shut down consistently because you're not good enough, those kind of realities that she needs to learn, and she needs to get a hold of first, right? And before she goes into it. So I would support her, but at the right age and with a lot of guidance from me, and which I didn't have from my parents when I was going into it. So it was more kapa with me. Like, I had to feel my way through the industry, and I was very, very lucky. I had a lot of fairy godmothers like Dexter and Ronnie, and like all of these people who helped me in the beginning. So I was able to really find myself, I was able to keep myself safe in an industry where I could easily be, unsafe.
But I think, you just have that, like what you said, you have that internal, like the will and your own, like, self on how to really like say, "Hey guys, okay, no matter what you want to say about me, I don't care. I'm gonna move into this path. I just have to focus myself." I just can't believe that even before the kasagsagan ng social media, marami na ba talagang mga people who you just cannot please everybody, isn't it? Right?
No, you really can't. It's really difficult. And that's why I tell the girls, don't even bother. Just you do you. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
As long as you have a good conscience at the end of the day, and as long as you know you gave everything you possibly could, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I love that. I really, really love that. You have a question here from Miss Joanne. Sabi niya, "Miss Carla, as a mom, how old will you allow your daughter to have her own Instagram account? I am curious as a mom."
I already stole her Instagram name. I've already reserved it. It's a private account. So her name is already reserved in Instagram just for when she would like to have it one day. But that is a very good question. As for when I will let her take over that account, I think it's not more of the age, but it's more of if she shows me how responsible she can be.
Okay.
And I think that children sometimes develop maturity a lot faster. So if she shows that to me at a young age and I'm comfortable letting her have that kind of freedom, then I will turn it over to her, but with also like limitations and boundaries and, this still rules in effect. And, but if she's badlungon and I can't control what she's posting, or not control, but like I can't trust what she might do with it, then of course I will keep it as long as you're in my house, my rules kind of scenario. So you're not allowed to have social media, yada yada. But I like to think that my daughters are gonna grow up to be responsible enough to handle it, and I also want to be the kind of mother that they can run to whenever there is a problem. So if something is not right, if, pedophiles or whatever are trying to get to them, or, just nasty people on Instagram, I would want and hope that my daughters would tell me so I can help them through it. I could help them, maneuver through social media, since I'll be old now at that time.
No, that is so right. That is so right. In fact, I remember my daughter. I think I allowed her to have an Instagram until I think when she was 12. But then I handed it over to her when she was 16. And I'm telling you, wow, if we have not, I mean, I think Joanne, you're asking about your daughter. If had it not that my daughter is not too close to me, like in fact, we just came from Greece. This is just like few months ago, 2 months ago, and we were in Santorini. We were in this resort, and then one of the owners, or what I don't know, part owner of the resort, he greeted us nicely, etc. We went to the bar of the resort, but then all the while, he was sending a private message to my daughter. And he said, once your mom and dad are asleep, if you like, you can go into this next building. The door is open and there's like a pair of shoes at the front of the door. That is my flat, or something like that. And good enough that my daughter has like the mommy, look at this guy that we just like had, drinks last night. Me and with my husband, was telling her. And I said, oh my God. So I was galit na galit. My husband was so upset. I was so upset. Like, how could you like send a message to my daughter directly on Instagram? We are in your resort. So sabi ko, I could just report this to TripAdvisor, and they can just report it. But the thing is, you want to manage it in such a way that you don't want to like make it like a big scandal and everything. But then immediately the next day, we're out because you're losing our business. We are out of here. So so Joanne, that is our, our daughters are my daughters are elder than you, older than yours. So extra careful, extra careful.
I think, Joanne, you just have to really make sure that that you can trust your daughter, and that your daughter would trust you with that, with any information that she might share with you.
Yeah.
We don't blow up right away when they tell us something, so that they don't feel like they can't come to us the next time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Easier said than done, but because as
mom, there,
we're protective. We're so like mama bear. So
I was a mama bear talaga. Like, get out! I don't care. You're gonna lose our business. But the question is, are you going to confront the person who owns the resort? What if they put something on our food, etc.? You know what I mean? Like, what if they lace your food with something else? So no, let's get out of here. There's one question here, Joey Abanili. I was late, but I just want to know if she had the kind of mom that will be screening her daughter's friends, especially boys. From Joey Abanilia.
I had a mom that was, I think, your typical old school Filipino mom that was like, no boys until after college kind of scenario. But it got balanced out with my Western dad, who
Okay.
was more open, and because
yeah.
I remember having my first boyfriend when I was 12 years old. I had my first.
Wow, you're so early. Oh my God. Hindi ba crush ka?
12. It was, it was that kind of boyfriend where holding hands is the most like you get kilig about. And
Okay.
the first and every time we went out on a date, it was always chaperoned by my parents or by my by his mom. It was always something like that.
Okay.
But if my
May
dad, I
blessing
remember
pa
when
ng parents, ha? May blessing pa pala ng parents.
my blessing from our parents, because my dad actually was the one who convinced my mom, because my dad said to her, she needs to get exposed to this kind of relationships, so this kind of environment while she's still young, and they're both still very like young and learning and going through this, and she's not, we don't hinder her and we don't hide her away to a point where hormones are then just going to take over and then she's going to make mistakes. So he was very adamant that to my mom to let me be exposed to that kind of things, controlled, limited, and chaperoned, but still
Wow.
exposed. And yeah, so that I'm not gullible. So I didn't grow up gullible, and I didn't grow up naive to certain realities of dating, like boys pressuring girls or all about
Ayun
consent.
na. That is your answer, my friends. Sige, agahan na lang yan. Start early and learn from that.
I think it's just having boundaries. I mean, I don't expect anybody to just let their kids. I wouldn't want any parent out there to just let their kids date whoever and whenever they like. Like, it just has to be controlled. And my parents never really screened any of my friends because, again, I think they trusted me enough to know which were good and which were bad. And I myself, I remember as a kid, even though I was bullied a little when I was a kid, and I was kind of a lot more shy. I didn't really develop confidence until way later on. But I was able to really attract the kind of friends that I wanted, which were also like the shy types, and we just kind of stuck together. We played with our Barbies, like that was our goal. That was our childhood. And yeah, so it was my parents never needed to. I think to a certain point in Canada, I grew up in Canada in that age, that time. It's very common to let your daughter have, or your kids have, quite a bit of freedom, because I would ride my bike to school, to and back. My parents wouldn't know.
Is there, yeah.
Yeah, and I would go ride my bike then to any tennis practice or swimming practice or a dance class. I would do that and then ride it back again to the house. And so there'd be like a good 8-10 hours my parents would not see me, and I would be doing it. But they know that I know to come home at a certain time. I know that I have to call. I know that if something is wrong, I have to run and get help in this certain areas. They taught me that. They exposed me to those things and they taught me it. So they were confident enough to let me start having my independence younger.
Yeah. Which we cannot do in the Philippines, though, because I'm sure you're going to have your yaya and the driver all the time. I mean, I've been telling my kids, she said, Mommy, they love here because they can just go out and, take the train, take the tube, like, I think it's just also as well, like how everyone becomes like, equality. Like, even if the Prime Minister of England takes the train, like everyone else, as a Philippines, my God, you have to have your guard, mga wang-wang, etc., with all the left and right. So those are the things that mahirap to balance into our heads, and also our kids as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't let my kids, ride their bikes out in the street to go to school. But first, I'm more worried about the motorists and the automobiles than I am of the the strange people walking around. I'm afraid that they'll get hit by a car more so. But I do still try to allow my kids Rico and I, because we both grew up with Western roots, as well as Filipino roots. We do try to make sure that our kids have a form of independence at the house. So my daughter, Stella, who's only 6 years old, she already has chores in the house. And she already has freedom. So she wants something, she needs to save for it, like she has a Disneyland fund right now. Like, we promised her if her piggy bank that's like this high is full, we'll bring her to Disneyland. Yeah, pandemic man, and it's almost full, so we keep taking money out of it.
That's nice.
But,
early. Yeah, no, mga kaibigan, it's really true. Like, starting your kids early. Like, even I remember Nikki, she became negosyante after lang because every time you ask her to make a tea, she would be asking for like 5p or 10p, £1 for every cup of tea. So it became like, okay, if I do something pala, then my services is being compensated. So true enough, like even now, she is in fact in a university here in England, in a private school student from international school, and she said, "Mommy, I'm going to be joining as a waitress because they pay good money." I said, "Really?" And then she came home one day and she said, "Mommy, I learned something which is so good, apart from siguro 10-20 pounds na tip." Sabi niya, "I learned how to mop the floor. I learned how to use the mop." So sabi ko, "Really?" So I think for her, when she was like telling me how to use it, it was like, oh my God, like it was like an amazing experience for her. So
it
mga
really is.
kaibigan, whatever you do, there's always time to guide our children. Now let's talk about your beauty queen journey. So Carla, being the very first Filipina ever to win the Miss Earth, how was this achievement changed you? Can you tell us about your journey?
It was so I don't know, destined, I think. Like, because I was fitted to join Miss Philippines several years before I actually even joined. And every year there was a reason I couldn't join. The first year was I didn't want to because I felt like I was still too very raw and still too young to do it. I was mostly afraid. The second year I was supposed to do it. I had coincidentally had joined Miss Cebu as well. And in Miss Cebu's contracts, you can't join any other pageant if you're one of the 5 winners. So I couldn't. Yeah. And then 2007, I was actually already an official candidate to represent Region 7 because they weren't having cities or municipalities yet. It was still regional. So I was supposed to be Region 7's candidate, but I had to back out because of my dad, because my dad was saying, "Oh, I was making drama. Like I'm moving to Canada. I wanted to spend more time with you, but now you're leaving for Manila." Yada, yada. So I was like, I felt bad, and so okay, I'll back out. I will do it, and so I backed out. And then all of a sudden, in January 2008, my friend Anna Igbit, she got this random idea to just tell me to join Bikibining Filipinas. And it was never in the cards, never something I wanted.
And this is the one. Can we just play this a bit? Our tech team, can you put the volume?
I hope I won't
Can
alter
you
the
go back a
results
bit?
while I'm
Let's
shaking
start.
this.
That was Billy, no? Billy Crawford.
Wendy, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Billy was the one who hosted
Of course,
our
partner
party.
SGB and Company. We'll see each
Very
other
young
next year,
pa.
sir.
Yeah, very young.
Okay, here it is. Is everybody excited tonight?
Miriam.
All right, my hands are shaking, actually. Okay. But I hope I won't alter the results while I'm shaking this.
Oh, I was so nervous, man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So nervous, but also
the winners
so
of Miss Earth 2008. Best of luck, ladies. Shall we begin with Miss Earth Fire 2008 is Miss Miss Brazil, Tatiana Allen.
Wow. Are you still in touch with them? With other beauties?
Tatiana, no, not so much. With Miriam, we do try to message once in a while. With I always found Brazil to be so
Which
pretty.
country was this? Which country was this held?
here.
Philippines.
Yeah,
Philippines
that's
would
why
be
I
so
never
good.
expected I would win. I didn't. Who would ever think you would win in a home court?
Yeah, that's right.
Miss Water 2008 is none other than Miss Mexico, Abigail Elizalde Romo.
Wow.
Crowning her as Vice President for External Affairs, Ms. Georgie Felix Velarde and Ms. Catherine Antelan.
I genuinely, honestly thought that Miriam would win this.
Ah, really?
Yeah, I really thought. I
The
was.
crowd is
and I was
really
rooting for her
going
too.
wild
I
right now.
really
Only 2
deserved it as
delegates
well.
are under the spotlight now. One of them will be this year's Miss Earth Air, while the other will be the rightful bearer of the title of Miss Earth
Oh, gee, I'm
2008.
here for it.
You may step forward now. I shall first announce the winner of Miss Earth Air. And she is no other than Miss Tanzania, Miriam Odemba. Congratulations. And of course, Miss Earth 2008.
Oh my
Miss
God.
Philippines. Congratulations, KARLA Henry.
That feels like such a long, long time ago.
Grabe. Where was this held?
In
Arnett.
Clark, Pampanga.
Clark.
Mr. Ramon Manzon. General Manuel Rojas, lawyer and former #1 man in the Philippine National Police and current member of the Board of Directors of PADCOR.
Was that a heavy crown? Is it heavy to wear?
It's actually not so heavy, but it had a lot of dents on it. So it kind of was a little painful if you wear it too long.
Are you able to bring it home, or you have to have it in a certain place safe?
Well, that specific crown I could bring with me anywhere. They trusted the winners to be able to take it with us. But the crown that I used to turn over, the new crown, because they had created a new crown for me to turn over to the 2009 winner. That one was really expensive and really, really kept on under lock and key.
Oh my gosh. And are you able to, so paano yan? Whenever you go around and have to wear your crown, the responsibility of keeping it safe is with you, right? Because you cannot just give it to the manager.
No,
So
you
maybe-
cannot. You have to keep it safe. You have to again, a certain respect, right? It has to be given
Yes.
to the crown. 7 other women wore it before me, and it survived. And through all the travels, through all the challenges that beauty queens go through, it survived. So I should at least keep it safe for a year.
Of course, that's right, that's right. So kaya nga sabi dito, KARLA Henry made history as the first ever Filipina to win the Miss Earth title. She inspired a lot of Cebuanas and Filipinas to join and be the best of version of themselves. Wow. So I know I cut you off my question about the journey to being there. How many months did you train, and everything until you had the pageant?
Well, my journey to Binibining Filipinas was very spontaneous. So I didn't have much time to train for that. I had about, I think, maybe 3 weeks of training before I was thrust into, not even 3 weeks, I think only 2 weeks of training before I was actually thrust into and immersed into the whole life of national pageantry. And I was really I wasn't used to it because all the pageants I'd ever joined, there was a sense of really strong camaraderie with the girls. So all of us, even if we were taken care of by different handlers, still got along. We still had a lot of fun. It was very relaxed and chill. And that wasn't the same kind of vibe in the national arena, especially for Binibining Filipinas. It's a very competitive, a little bit cutthroat kind of competition. So I felt like I was drowning a little being part of that because I wasn't used to it. And so when I lost, which made perfect sense, I decided I want to take a little break. But then another friend of mine who was in Binibini with me, who also was a non-winner. She had the brilliant idea of auditioning for Miss Philippines Earth, which was already starting to take candidates that very same week that we had lost. And I told her, "Are you crazy? We had just finished this intense competition. Now you want to go join another one?" Riza May, she was representing Bacolod, and I was like, "You must be nuts! Like this is a lot of pressure to go from one big pageant to another, like it was a lot." And so I said, but she would convince me. She said it would be fun, and and so I had to talk to Tito Rogel about it, because Rogel Flores was my handler and my mentor at that time for Binibini, and so I had to kind of talk to him and also Dexter and see like what their opinions were and if I could do it. And so they said, yeah, go for it. And I went, I auditioned, and I did not expect that I would win, because honestly, I thought I had never really won a pageant before. I was always the runner-up. And so it was crazily unexpected to win Miss Philippines, and even more so when my time came for Miss Earth. And I really approached my time in Miss Earth because I was told by a very, very dear and good friend of mine, si Kathy Puntalan. She made it a point to really tell me, unfortunately, because you are competing in the country that you live in the country you're representing, you have to put being the host first before being a candidate. So
I see.
So I had to take care of the candidates and what their needs were, and really look out for them more so than myself. And so I had to take that at heart, and I hope I did that. I hope I was good enough for my fellow candidates, and I helped them out as much as I could. And I would compete when I would be on stage, but then I would enjoy like the time that I had with the girls, because I was really, really lucky and blessed enough to be surrounded by mentors and friends and fellow other beauty queens that reminded me that this is a once in a lifetime experience. And as much as I want to win it, I should also enjoy being a part of it.
Exactly.
So I think I had a lot of fun, and I think it was really stressful. There were times where we would only get 2 hours of sleep. There were times where we barely had. We would sleep in our gowns and sleep like this so that we don't then retouch na lang the makeup and the hair. And it was it's nasty, but it needed to be done.
But it was all worth it in the end. It was all worth it, right?
It was worth it, not because of just the winning. It was worth it because of really the platform it gave me, really the exposure and the confidence and everything that followed. Not just the crown. I think I would have probably gotten the same even if I hadn't won. Even if I was the first or second runner-up. I mean, yes, it's really a sweet cherry on top of it all that I got to win and be the title holder. I think, but for me, it was my actual journey that was, and my opening of my mind and my soul to a whole new world and a whole new path. That was the best thing I could have ever taken away from joining Miss Earth. And having won Miss Earth as the first Filipina, and as you guys are saying, I hope I did inspire other women to.
You are, of course. Yeah, but even to this day, we can proudly say that a lot of those new, latest beauties are from Cebu, right? So there you go. It was I know you really cemented the path for the beauty queens of Cebu. So you know what, we're supposed to have a break when we hit the 30-minute mark, but because Karla is always an eloquent speaker, a wonderful lady, let's take like a few seconds break. We're just going to be showing to you our 2022 horoscope books. When we come back, Karla is going to maybe give us an update on your life outside the fashion industry, what keeps you going, and would you allow others, or would you consider or encourage others to keep going no matter what or circumstances present to themselves. So when we right back, my friends, we'll be talking back again to Miss Karla. Give us a few minutes. Ayan, mga kaibigan, we're back. And then a while ago, we were just talking with Carla. Sabi ko, how time flies when you are talking to a very, very eloquent speaker, a beauty queen from Cebu, of course, the great Miss Carla Henry. So, Carla, welcome back again.
Thank you so much. I'm flattered by the great.
No, you truly are so worth deserving, so worth emulating. Christina, welcome to the show. Christina is actually from Japan. Ayan. And then we have somebody, Aris, is watching from Winnipeg in Canada. Thank you so much. Sabi ni Neo over here, Carla Henry Ammann did not just stop at the end of her reign as Miss Earth. She till now, after many years, continues to inspire a lot of women and women alike. She continues to inspire others as a wonderful wife, mother, and public servant. Soon, we love you, Mother Earth. Live long and prosper. Ay, talaga naman.
That's Neil. Still trying to get me into public service. I've been in the service of the public for a very long time. I don't need to
Yes.
have the position.
And then we'll always be there. So Carla, before we went for a break, we are now running into the last 10 minutes of our show. How would you any fashion related jobs do you look forward to given the current situation? It's COVID, things are quite limited. Can you also give us like an update of what you've been doing? And then at the same time, what are your encouragements or words of advice for those aspiring to become models in this current situation? And how do you stay, I would say, hopeful? Like,
well, I haven't done modeling. I did it one time before, like 2 months ago, but that was only just it was for a friend. But I'm not really a model. I haven't been modeling. I'm an events host. I love to host pageants and corporate events. I really have, because as you can see, I'm super daldal. Like, I just want to keep
we
talking.
love it.
So I have to put that to good use. I have to, work with what I have. And what I have is a very talkative, personality. So might as well make a career out of it. And last year it was very difficult. And I know not just for me, well, it was difficult for us, yes, because it was the pandemic. And I actually didn't have a single event. I just had given birth. And so
that's right.
I had new baby to deal with, and then the pandemic, and then not being able to work, which is like losing a piece of me, like a part of me that has been with me since I was 16 years old, because I've been working since I was 16 years old. I started off as a dishwasher, as a receptionist at a restaurant, and now I'm hosting events. So it's been really like, this is really what I do. I work. And so for me to not have that last year was very difficult. But I can't say that it was more difficult than anybody else's, because I know a lot of my friends in the industry really suffered last year. They really had a very, very hard time because we rely on these events. We rely on, as we like to call it, rackets, diba? Like, so for them, the whole world, the industry got shut down. And so they had to maneuver and figure out how to find ways. And so my husband, I like to call him my sugar daddy now, because he was he had to take care of everything, all the bills and all the
oh my God, Rico. He's too young to be your sugar daddy. Rico is too young to be your sugar daddy.
For 1 year last year, he was my sugar daddy for 1 year. Siya gabuhit na ko. So I'm
sure he would love to.
I think that's partnership though, right? That's marriage. And so it's so that's why I still feel very lucky, and I still feel very grateful for the life that I have, and I feel that people in our industry had it a lot worse, and there was really nothing we could do but learn how to adapt and how to pivot. A lot of my friends did that. They had the strength to find different means to put food on the table. They found different means to use the talents that they had. My friends who had businesses suffered, so they found ways to still keep their staff, paid and pivot again with their businesses. And that's what ultimately it is. I think it's also a lot more pressure when you are a parent or when
Yeah.
you are a person that's a breadwinner for a family, and you don't have the time, you don't have the space in your mind to occupy negativity and to occupy doubts about where you're going to find money and all this. You just have to figure it out. You have to contact everybody, figure out, lower your pride, find a way to adapt to the situation, find a way to make the most out of it, um and that's ultimately what we all had to do. And I was lucky enough that early on this year, events had started to kind of start already in the country. And actually that's why I'm very happy that, because like in our industry it pivoted, now everything is virtual, right?
Yes.
So events have now started to be, I just finished a virtual event actually like 2 days ago, so and
See?
I was able to do it in the comforts of my own home, and
Which is beautiful.
So
Yeah.
it is picking up again slowly but surely. So I know that the mental hardships are really, or the mental strain that this pandemic has really thrown at people is hard to get past. I know I can't, I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody to stop being depressed or to stop being sad or to stop doing this. Like, you need to go through what you need to go through. But what you need to do also, and this is actually something I'm trying to teach my daughter as well, because my daughter is a very empathic person. She's a very sensitive person. Her personality, she cares very deeply from the littlest of things to the biggest of things. Like, she'll start crying if she sees a commercial from WHO about children in Africa, like she'll start crying about things like that because she feels so deeply for them. And so what I do sometimes is, and children, of course, all of last year and even this year have been experiencing anxiety because of being locked up in the houses. And
Exactly.
so what I try to do, and maybe it might work for some people, maybe it won't, but it's worth giving a shot, was I tell my daughter, let yourself be sad, let yourself cry, let yourself feel what you're feeling. Give it some time, and after a little bit of time, remind yourself of the good things in your life. Remind yourself of the people that you love. Remind yourself of the things that you love, the things that you got to do, and the things that you would want to do after all of this. And it works for her, so maybe it might work for some people.
Exactly. Well, it even works to us adults as well, really. You just have to, sit back, relax, and think of the positive things, like what you said. I mean, that's a wonderful sharing there, Carla. Amazing. I salute you. You truly are the Mother Earth.
Yeah, it's mother in Bisaya. It's mother Earth.
Mother Earth.
I don't like to take on the title Mother, like the Mother Earth, because I feel like I don't do justice to it with the environmental problems. But
you truly are. Oh my God, thank you so much, Carla. Before we end, Sandra, thanks for the almanac. It's so beautiful. Sandra, you're so lucky. I don't even have a copy of my own book yet because it's yet to be shipped to me here in London. So mga kaibigan, if you do need some services, any hosting gigs or information that you need from Carla, tell us, how can they reach you?
Well, you can always go to my Instagram account at I am KARLA Henry. And you can contact me there, or I do have a Facebook account as well. My Facebook is under KARLA Henry. My hair, I think, is still blonde in that profile photo. But best way is Instagram. I'm constantly on Instagram. So if you want to contact me there, that's my IG account.
Yeah, that's right. So once again, in fact, I already am. Dexter, I already have a job for Carla. I'm going to message you already. I'm excited already.
So people can message me anytime. I'm very open to different types of racket kasi mahal ang gatas, mahal ang diaper.
That's so true. Does your baby still wear diapers?
Yeah, she's turning 2 in about 20 days. So she's
Okay, I'm gonna introduce you. Maybe she's gonna be our next model for our Wonder Kin. It's the Wonder Mom diaper, which is now on the app. So for a busy mom like you can just see the baby if she needs changing already with the use of an app. I'm gonna talk to you after this on backstage. So mga kaibigan, thank you so much again for your company. If you do need the services of Carla, she is that great. I mean, look at that. The way she speaks, the way she carries herself. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. She's so eloquent speaker. Thanks again to our dearest friend, Dexter Alasas. And of course, please continue to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Marites Allen, and on YouTube as well. So I'll see you on Wednesday for our show on Filipino TV Europe. And on Friday, apart from our Friga Fashion Friday, am I supposed to announce this to you? But anyways, yes, I am. I am very thrilled to announce that I'm going to be one of the hosts for USA Global TV, airing every 4 p.m. London time. This is for the US Global TV show. So I'm gonna tell you more when I make the post. So thanks again and good luck. We will leave you with your forecast for November 2021. See you.